Hello, good morning. How are you today? Welcome to 196 Days Around the World of Family Life. I'm so excited to have come your way again today. So, I landed in the amazing country of Benin Republic. Benin Republic is just about 2 hours away from Nigeria. So, I didn't have to fly. I just had to, drive across Badagry and boom, I'm in Cotonou. Well, what do you need to know inside a family, Benin Republic family life? 6 1 facts. Benin, a French speaking West African nation, is a birthplace of voodoo religion. Okay, and the home to the former Dahomey kingdom from Cypher, 1600 to 1900. In Abome, Dahomey's former capital, the historical museum occupies the two royal palaces with bas reliefs recounting the kingdom's past and throne mounted on human skulls. To the north, Penjari National Park offers safaris with elephants, hippos, and lions. Benin Republic is bordered by Togo to the west, Nigeria to the east, Burkina Faso to the northwest, and Niger to the northeast. The majority of its population lives on a small southern coastal island of the Bight of Benin, part of the Gulf of Guinea in the northmost tropical portion of the Atlantic Ocean. Two things have influenced Benin's culture more than anything: voodoo and slavery. Now, so what are the 6 fun facts you need to know? As a matter of fact, if you get in the Benin Republic, you will see clearly how slavery and voodooism has influenced that country. Number one, there's a kinship. Kinship ties involve loyalty as outside immediate family. The lineage and the clan are the most common descent groups. Kin are expected to attend important ceremonies and provide financial aid. So very, very similar to what you have in the Edo states in Nigeria on part of Ondo State. Okay. Kin network link members in urban and rural areas. Children may be sent to relative to raise, but fostering sometimes results in country relatives being brought to large city to work as domestic servants. It will interest you to know that the largest domestic servants in Nigeria are from Benin Republic. Okay, domestic unit. The average household contains 6 persons, but extended families and polygamous households may be much larger. Often close relatives live in the same vicinity in separate household but function as cooperative economic unit. Now, when it comes to courtesy, I mean, there's a lot of hospitality and willingness to assist once they see that you are one of them. So if you land in Benin Republic, I mean, I look a lot like them, so they think that I'm one of them until they begin to speak their French. Except I find the Yoruba speaking people, because I speak a bit of Yoruba. I mean, I speak a lot of Yoruba, so expect. But yeah, even Yoruba is totally about slightly different, but at least we can hear ourselves. But if I met the ones who only spoke French, I would run into trouble. I would need an interpreter. As a matter of fact, if you're one of them, if you are the one who make business happens or where brings wealth to them, you can become their best friend. But remember, you need to speak French to survive here. But above all, very fun-loving, beautiful beaches, a culture very similar to Nigeria. Women marry into patrilineal descent system because it is assumed that the children belong to the father in that culture. So as a family life professional, you need to bear this at the back of your mind. Number three, there's gender inequality. In farming communities, men do the heavier tasks such as clearing land. Women help plant, harvest, and process many of the foods. Women carry wood and water and are responsible for household tasks involving farm, food, and children. Women are active in local and regional trade. The degree to which women work as healers and ritual specialists varies between ethnic groups. Okay, the relative status of women and men. Women in the Dahomey Kingdom could increase their wealth and power as part of the Royal Palace organization and often serve in primarily male occupation. The general pattern has always been for women to be socially and economically subordinate to men in Benin Republic. The 1977 Constitution conferred legal equality on women, but this was ignored in practice. Currently, 65% of girls are not in school, right? Enforcement of the law against rape, the punishment for which can be up to 5 years in prison, is hampered by corruption, ineffective police work, and fear of social stigma. And there is female genital mutilation, child prostitution, and sexual harassment is very common. So if you want to work in here, you need to understand that if you depend on the police or the law enforcement agency to bail you out, you may be in for a shock, except you have friends in high places. You know what I mean? But you need to understand that while rape is illegal by the Constitution, in practice, it's not so. So a lot of people get raped And like I said, child trafficking is very, very right because the highest numbers of domestic workers, servants in Nigeria are actually people brought in from Benin Republic, and they are usually underage. Number four, there's child marriage. 26% of girls in Benin are married before the 18th birthday, and 7% are married before the age of 15. Child marriage rates vary across the country and are highest in Alibori, where 54% of women aged 20 to 49 were married before the age of 18, Zoo 43%, Bogo 40%, and this is caused by the level of education, poverty, and because they live in coastal region, sometimes they get flooded. So a lot of people marry their children off early, to avoid the liability of having to now cope with the repercussion or the consequence of the aftermath effect of the flooding, and then there's trafficking. Benin has committed to eliminate child early and forced marriage by 2030, in line with target 5.3 of the Sustainable Development Goals. The government did not provide an update on progress towards this target during its voluntary national review at the 2017 high-level political forum. However, did mention target 5.3 as an indicator in its 2018 voluntary national review. Right. So, welcome to West Africa, by the way. Okay. Number five, child development. The literacy rate in Benin is among the lowest in the world. So you can imagine why child trafficking and child marriage is a major issue. And like we said, voodooism and slavery has defined strongly, the culture of this particular country. And that's why if you want to go work there, you need to be ready to do a lot of pro bono work. Because they may not have what it may takes to pay you, except for those in power and those in the political arena. Corruption is a bit rife, but you need to help you to change the culture. And it's a very tough culture to change, which is why you need to be very skilled at bypassing conscious resistance. So in 2005, it was estimated to be 38.4%, 49.9, and 27.3 for females, according to literacy. Infants are carried often on the mother's back, and most are breastfed. Children are cared for by siblings and other family members when they are not with the mothers. Babies sleep anywhere, no matter how noisy it is. So you see them on the floor, you see them on the road, on the pavement. Child rearing and education. Children are expected to be obedient and to show respect for their elders. Children learn gender appropriate tasks, especially girls. Most children have few toys and amuse themselves with simple games, like what they call suwe. Suwe is, they play on sand and they hold one leg up and they run. It's estimated that 8% of rural children work as laborers on plantation and as domestic servants. So this country really, really need your help. If you want to work as a family life professional, you need to see yourself as actually a family life missionary. The educational system is modeled after that of France. School is free and compulsory for beginning at age 5. However, many families cannot afford uniforms and supplies or need their children's labor. It is recognized that education is the key to social advancement, and most parents sacrifice to send their children to school. Right? You can imagine education is free, but parents can't even afford school uniform. I mean, it's so pathetic that we really need to help. And number 6, there is arranged marriages. Most marriages are arranged by families because these events involve the entire community. In fact, marriage time is actually eating time. So a lot of people who don't have food can actually come and eat. When the parents of a boy or a boy himself are interested in marrying a girl, the father of the boy sends an emissary to communicate his intention to the father of the girl. The girl's father, after consulting his wife, communicates his decision to the boy's family. After the arrival of the forest raiding season, the groom-to-be helps the girl's father to cultivate his field. This custom is called acetogleli, right? I'm not pronouncing it well. The girl's father then consults the fa in order to know whether this marriage can be celebrated or not. The fa is like a voodoo, right? The do answer is brought by the emissary. Later on, the suitor's father visits the bride-to-be's father to discuss the do. From that moment on, the two families start exchanging courtesies. Then the traditional marriage happens, and the after marriage. Well, the summary of this is very, very traditional in here. But that's even if you make it to the marriage age, because by the time this child marriage is celebrated, or by the time you have been ferried out as a domestic help, where do you come from and how do you? So consistently, if you live in Nigeria, you realize that many of the things people who I hear them complain about is the fact that many of those girls come in with some kind of fetish stuff, which is very, very, very strong and rife in that country. But above all, very beautiful places. If you meet the enlightened Beninois, you will find out that they're very pleasant to be with. They're very exposed. They love life beside the beach, the resort, and what have you. And there's a whole lot of people, who live in that, who have risen from that particular country to actually shake the world. So it's not bad in there after all, but be prepared to work as a family life missionary, which means you may not get paid so much, but you can actually find a way to create intervention where you collect money from the government to serve the poor. But the people may not be able to pay you directly. But what needs to change basically is the culture, that makes the women subservient to men. But you need to bypass conscious resistance, and education may be actually your best key. But you see, to bypass conscious resistance to work effectively in Benin Republic, there is a course you need to take. And that course is Family Systems Engineering Certification Program. If you visit school.imprisforward.com, you will find that course there. Take it, or you follow me on IG, Instagram, at the Family Life Therapist, to know more about different countries and different places. Thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow, I'll go to another country. Till then, keep loving, keep living, and remember, you can actually transform the world. Bye bye.